Hello and welcome. You're watching Beat on Bits. My name is Brandon, and in this video, we'll be looking at one way to approach the planning and design of a video game. So I've been wanting to make a video game since last year, and since then I've written down a lot of different ideas for gameplay mechanics and storylines and plot and things like that across a sea of Google Docs, and even put up a couple prototypes on my itch.io page. But I've gotten to a point where I've just kind of grown sick of following along with tutorials and still not being able to make what I want to make. So I've taken a step back and decided to take the general Unity learning path courses while applying my learnings to my own game as I go through the lessons. In this process, I've come across a few different ways to plan and design a video game, and I'd like to share one in this video that I found to be the most clear and concise, which is the project design doc from Unity. This is directly from the Unity course that I'm taking, and I believe that it can be very helpful in managing the overall scope of a video game development project. The project design doc. It consists of a project concept, a timeline, and a sketch. Based on my own inexperienced opinion, I believe that this design doc is mostly for smaller games, but can probably be used for larger games as well by making one of these design docs for each main feature of a larger game. Let's just open one up. So what we're looking at here is the project design document. You can see the three sections here: the project concept, the project timeline, and the project sketch. So in the project concept, it's broken down into 6 different points, which are the player control, the basic gameplay, sound and effects, gameplay mechanics, user interface, and extras. So what I filled in each of these sections for a small personal game project that I'm doing for the player control is you control a mouse cursor in this side view game where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys and clicking the mouse makes the player select an element type and fire a shot where the cursor is. For the basic gameplay, I have during the game, elemental orbs appear from the outside of the screen and move toward the center of the screen. And the goal of the game is to destroy as many of the orbs as possible before they reach the center of the screen, but they can only be destroyed by the right elemental matchup. And for the sound and effects, there will be sound effects when an orb is hit or an orb reaches the center of the screen, and particle effects when an orb is hit and the orb reaches the center of the screen. Optional, there will also be different effects based on the elemental matchup, which is strong or weak. For the gameplay mechanics, I have, as the game progresses, more orbs will appear, making it more difficult to destroy them all. There will also be an increase in the speed of the orb's movement. For the user interface, I have the score will increase whenever an orb is destroyed. At the start of the game, the title Elemental Eradicator will appear, and the game will end when 3 orbs reach the center of the screen. I have a couple things for other features as well, which are 3 lives will show and decrement whenever an orb reaches the center of the screen. The next section we have is the project timeline, and this is where you can sort everything that you listed in the previous section and then assign deadlines to it. I've kind of done that here based on what I've previously written and then assigned deadlines each week. I'm not quite sure how accurate this is going to be, but I can always adjust as I go. So it's just a nice way to plan it out at the start. In the backlog section, you can put in your nice to have features that might not be totally necessary to the experience of the game, but would just be nice additions to it. And this is something that you just kind of approach if you're doing really well on your deadlines and that you set for yourself. And then you can just add these with the extra time that you have. And the last section is the project sketch. And this is just like a very super simple sketch of what you want the game to look like visually. So for mine, I've made the player here at the center of the screen, and then they have this crosshair cursor. And there's also these 5 different colored elements that travel towards the center of the screen, towards the player. And you have your 3 lives on the top corner, and then the key mapping, so I want the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 keys to change the elemental type of your attack, and then the score on the top right. So yeah, that's just what my small personal game project is going to look like in the format of the project design document. So filling out this document took less than an hour in total, including the brainstorming. So it's not a huge time investment in the planning of a small game like this. And I think it'll save me a lot of time as I go because I won't have to make up as much as I'm going through it. Once I finish that, I'll make a gameplay video and put it up on my itch.io page for you all to play as well if you'd like. As for how my overall game development journey is going, my plan is to finish this Unity course, and that should yield some more of these smaller games, like this one outlined in this video. And then I can get started finally for real on the game that I actually want to make. So yeah, please look forward to it. If you found this video interesting or you want to accompany me on my game development journey, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.